2026 is shaping up to be a historic year for cinema, packed with massive franchise returns and visionary director projects. Today, we're counting down the 10 films generating the most hype, from Arrakis to the return of the MCU. Dune, Part 3. A darker, more radical descent into the consequences of Paul Atreides' holy war as he grapples with his role as the Emperor of the known universe. Denis Villeneuve returns to conclude his trilogy with an adaptation of Dune Messiah, jumping nearly 2 decades into a future defined by political conspiracy and religious fervor. The film promises a muscular and tense experience, featuring the return of the original cast alongside newcomers like Robert Pattinson as a shifting antagonist. It is a haunting exploration of the trap of destiny, shifting the tone from a war epic to a psychological thriller on a galactic scale. A darker, more radical conclusion to the trilogy that follows Paul Atreides' agonizing struggle with his destiny as Emperor amidst a galaxy-wide religious war. Dune, Part 3, 10th place. Avengers: Doomsday. The Marvel Cinematic Universe faces its greatest reckoning yet, as the Russo brothers return to helm a massive crossover event that shifts the focus to a legendary villain.
Baku of Wakanda.
Then, Yancey Street, between Broome and Grand.
The world stood still at the announcement of Robert Downey Jr.'s return, though he is now donning the iron mask of Victor Von Doom rather than the suit of Tony Stark. This film serves as the beginning of the end for the multiverse saga, promising to reunite the disparate heroes of Earth for a conflict of unprecedented scale. It is a high-stakes gamble on nostalgia and reinvention, aiming to reclaim the cultural dominance of the Infinity War era. A high-stakes cinematic event that marks the return of the Russo brothers and Robert Downey Jr. in a shocking new role as the iconic villain, Dr. Doom. Avengers: Doomsday. 9th place. The Odyssey. Christopher Nolan follows up his Oscar-winning success with a project shrouded in his signature mystery, assembling a cast that feels like a modern Hollywood who's who. While the plot remains a closely guarded secret, the presence of Matt Damon, Zendaya, and Tom Holland suggests a narrative with massive emotional and intellectual gravity. Whether it is a literal adaptation of the Greek epic or a high-concept sci-fi reimagining, Nolan's involvement guarantees a technical marvel designed for the largest screens. It stands as the most prestigious original property on the horizon, promising to push the boundaries of what a summer blockbuster can achieve. A mysterious, high-concept masterpiece from Christopher Nolan that assembles a powerhouse cast for what is expected to be a groundbreaking, technical marvel in IMAX. The Odyssey. 8th place. Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Tom Holland's Peter Parker returns for a 4th solo outing that reportedly brings the character back to his street-level roots in a post-multiverse New York.
Spider-Man.
After the devastating isolation of his previous film, Peter must navigate a world where no one knows his name while facing threats that hit closer to home. The film is a balance of high-flying action and a grounded, character-driven story about the cost of being a hero. It represents a fresh start for the franchise, aiming to recapture the classic, intimate feeling of the neighborhood web-slinger. A grounded and character-driven fresh start for Peter Parker that returns the neighborhood hero to his street-level roots in a post-multiverse New York. Spider-Man: Brand New Day. 7th place. Disclosure Day. Steven Spielberg returns to the sci-fi genre for a grand event film that explores the global fallout of humanity, receiving proof of extraterrestrial life.
79-year terror campaign of lies has to end.
Rather than focusing on a traditional invasion, the story delves into the social, religious, and political chaos that erupts when the mystery of the universe is finally solved. It is a cerebral take on the first contact trope, prioritizing human reaction and wonder over explosive spectacle. Spielberg's return to this territory feels like a homecoming, offering a visionary look at a world changed forever by a single day of truth. A visionary and cerebral sci-fi epic from Steven Spielberg that explores the profound global chaos and wonder following the irrefutable proof of alien life. Disclosure Day, 6th place. Ryan Gosling stars as an amnesiac astronaut in a high-stakes survival thriller based on the hit novel by Andy Weir.
I'm not an astronaut.
If you don't go, you die. We're the rest of us.
Waking up alone on a spacecraft with no memory of his mission, he must use pure scientific logic and unexpected alliances to prevent an extinction-level event for Earth. The film is a celebration of human ingenuity and the spirit of discovery, set against the terrifying backdrop of the deep cosmos. It promises to be a gripping, solo-led performance that blends the hard science of The Martian with a deeply emotional core. A gripping and scientific survival thriller that follows an amnesiac astronaut's desperate, high-stakes mission to save Earth from a looming extinction-level event. Project Hail Mary, 5th place. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Millie Alcock takes flight in a gritty, interstellar epic that introduces a much more jaded and battle-hardened version of the Girl of Steel.
I didn't know any of you were still alive. What was it like to lose everything in the day?
Based on the acclaimed comic run, the film follows Kara Zor-El as she travels across the stars on a quest for vengeance and self-discovery alongside a young alien girl. It marks a radical departure from traditional superhero aesthetics, opting for a sweeping sci-fi western feel that expands the new DC universe. The film is a bold statement on the endurance of hope in a world that has seen too much tragedy. A gritty and sweeping interstellar epic that follows a battle-hardened Supergirl on a journey of vengeance and discovery across the stars of the new DCU. Supergirl, 4th place. The Mandalorian and Grogu. The beloved duo from the small screen finally makes their theatrical debut in a mission that expands the scale of the Star Wars universe. Jon Favreau directs this cinematic expansion, bringing Mando and Grogu to the big screen for a high-octane adventure that bridges the gap between streaming and cinema. Fans are eager to see how the intimate father-son dynamic translates to a massive theatrical experience. It is a pivotal moment for the franchise, serving as a test for the future of Star Wars in the cinema. A high-octane theatrical expansion of the beloved series that brings Mando and Grogu to the big screen for a massive, high-stakes Star Wars adventure. The Mandalorian and Grogu, 3rd place. Toy Story 5, Pixar returns to its most iconic franchise with a story that tackles the modern challenge of children being distracted by technology over physical toys.
I'm losing Bonnie to this device.
Woody, Buzz, and the rest of the gang must navigate their place in a world filled with iPads and video games, questioning their relevance in a changing landscape. It is a meta-meditation on the passage of time and the evolution of play, likely to pull on the heartstrings of multiple generations. The film aims to prove that these characters still have vital stories to tell, even in a digital age. A meta-meditation on the evolution of play that follows Woody and Buzz as they navigate their relevance in a modern world of digital distractions. Toy Story 5, 2nd place. Portrayed by his real-life nephew Jafar Jackson, The film promises a deep dive into the artistic genius and the troubled personal life of a global icon.
I'm planning an international tour. This is just the beginning.
Directed by Antoine Fuqua, it aims to be a definitive portrait of a man who changed music forever while living under the constant glare of the world's spotlight. It is one of the most ambitious biopics ever attempted, carrying the weight of massive cultural legacy and scrutiny. A sweeping and ambitious biopic that explores the artistic genius and complex personal legacy of Michael Jackson through the lens of a global icon. Michael, first place. With so many massive titles on the horizon, 2026 is officially looking like a year that belongs to the cinema. Which of these movies are you marking on your calendar first?